Alright, update on the garden. It's actually coming along a little nicer than it could be. I have most of my green beans sprouted. A little bit of weeds coming up through there too, but they're doing okay. This side not as much as the other, but truthfully I usually get way more green beans than I could ever use, so that's fine. My onions are doing pretty good. Actually, got a few free tomatoes in there. I'll probably have to pluck some of those free tomatoes because they're gonna mess up with the onions. And I got plenty of regular tomatoes. You can see they're starting to actually do really well. I even had to bring in some cages. I was gonna come up with some fancy way of caging them without going to Walmart, but I actually went to Walmart. Don't tell anybody. And then all of my free potatoes are doing really good. I did not plant potatoes this year, but they planted themselves. One thing I've really struggled with is my pumpkins, getting them to sprout. This one sprouted on my first planting and it is doing quite well. But that is the extent of what pumpkins I will have growing this year because I'm not planting a fourth time. Blueberry bushes, transplanted those this year. They're doing okay. Looks like I'm actually getting a few blueberries on there. Try to focus in on that. Come on, camera, zoom. There we go. And then herbs. I've got parsley, and I have dill for days. It is insane how well the dill has been doing. I have some really good basil. The cucumbers are coming along as they should. They're not exploding yet, but they usually do a lot better when it gets warmer. Same with these jalapenos and green peppers. I did throw some flowers in here just for aesthetic appeal. I don't think it'll hurt it much. I did mow over my sprinkler. Classic noob move. I do know that marigolds help ward off some bugs. And I'm going to have some morning glories that climb up over the trellis. They are coming along nicely. They have not exploded yet, but they're coming along. And then this is just flowers and some melons. I put some melons down because I had some extra space. I really didn't know what to do with it. I got these chives from my parents, some sage, and one tiny sprig of rosemary that's just clinging to dear life. It hasn't died yet, and it hasn't exploded yet either. I don't know if it's a good idea to have rosemary next to all this broccoli, but well, that's where it is now. And I have some more cucumbers, and then hopefully I've thinned these out 6 or 7 times. Hopefully I'll have some nice carrots this year. We haven't grown carrots in a few years. My peas, I haven't strung them up yet. They're supposed to go up this trellis, but I have not taken the time to put down strings for them. And my raspberries, now that the sun has finally started coming out on a more consistent basis, my raspberries have turned very nice. And they're actually getting some new growth and possibly even some berries this year. And then my squash. I have about 2 to 3 squashes per hill here. Anywhere from acorn squash to yellow squash, butternut, and of course zucchini. Classic American tradition for zucchini bread. Or I don't know, it might not be an American tradition. You'll have to tell me. And then the last part of the garden is all just flowers. Once these start taking off, I might throw some mulch in there. They're doing okay, but a lot of this dirt settled right after I planted the plants. So I was kind of running out of time and just throwing them in there. So some of them have died off, but and I believe this is acorn squash as well. These are transplants from my parents' compost pile, so freebies as well. I had to thin down probably a dozen plants on either side because they just keep doing so good. All right, thanks for taking the tour with me.